And welcome everybody to Nat One Fun. Welcome back to I guess what can we call this? Improv night here at Nat One Fun, 1985 games. And welcome our guest, Cher from That Gamer Cher. Welcome.
Whee! Hi! It is so awesome to be here.
Y-
Thank you for
She
inviting me.
she absolutely answered the call. I had a last minute cancellation and I went around asking players and Cher was there to answer. So
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
No,
Have dice
wonderful.
will travel.
Have dice will travel. I love that. I love that. Guys, as you know, we have an affiliateship with 1985 Games. This is kind of just a little sideshow that I like to kind of put on to help promote not just 1985 Games, but the actual content that they provide, which in turn, right now, we are going to be using the deck of stories. If this is your first time here, I will explain a little bit as we go, but deck of stories is essentially a story creating helping mechanism. It allows you to draw a card from the pile, and each one of these cards has a small prompt on it. Now, these prompts can be one of three things, kind of like an intro to your adventure, a turn in your adventure, or a mid piece, and then, of course, like an ending part of the adventure, which is based off what's called the Orc system. They use a system called Orc, which I have the card here that explains what ORC stands for. So O stands for opening action, and then R for rising action, and C for climactic action. So it's kind of that beginning, middle, end kind of thing that I was talking
And I
about.
love that. I love that because it helps you, get the idea out and rolling. There's nothing worse than like figuring out, okay, wait, how do I get started? You're looking at a blank page. You're looking at a blank character sheet. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's great.
it's absolutely, it's kind of one of those things too where it's you don't have to plan a giant D&D game. You could be like, "Hey guys, it's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. Do you guys want to play D&D? Like I have my Saturday open and you guys should come over." And you don't have to plan like a giant thing. You could just sit there with your deck of stories, grab one and just go and just be like, "Here's the adventure." And kind of and it's really good at stretching your improv skills, which
I love that.
we are going to be doing tonight. So
I
uh
tell my actor friends about that all the time. I'm like, listen, okay. There's a reason why there's another kind of famous show. You might have heard about it. A famous group of actor
mm.
friends that come on together. Yeah, because it's really great to stretch that muscle. And didn't you mention also that it doesn't only have to be just D&D themed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's great you mentioned that. Matter of factly, last session or last episode we did of this, it was D&D, and you can roll with this as D&D. It is a lot easier to do for, the uh like that era of gaming, or that, that type of game, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, that kind of stuff. But it's suited to kind of fit into any TTRPG. It could be a horror campaign or it could be anything. And the thing about it too is it could be stuff like sci-fi or a western or like high fantasy, like kind of Feywild kind of stuff. It's absolutely open to interpretation, and you can take what it says on the card too and flip it on its head. You can use it as inspiration. You don't exactly have to go with exactly what it says. So that's kind of what we're going to be getting into today. So to kind of introduce Cher into this, we are
Okay.
going to, and of course the viewers, we're going to talk a little bit about the cards before we get started. So let's go ahead and transition over here. Right. So it likes to do this every time. So we're just
Nice.
going to flippy flip.
Whoop.
Yeah. All right. Mayhaps play a sci-fi western even. Yeah. They're going to shout
Oh.
out to my Firefly fans. All right.
Oh snap! Oh yeah, Firefly. Oh my God! Like between D&D, like traditional high fantasy, and then I love sci-fi. Big, huge sci-fi nerd. Big superhero comic book nerd. a big steampunk nerd. I mean, just all the nerddoms, just all the nerddoms.
That's good. That's good.
So yes.
It'll all help in today's episode. So I'm glad we're all together on this. Okay, so as I was saying, it does run off of what is called the Orc System. So as you can see here, if I stop moving, the Orc System has three things. You got opening action, rising action, then climactic action. And we're going to try and start out with an opening action when we start out our thing. Now, before we get into it, we are going to create a character. So last time, again, we did play a Dungeons and Dragons type scenario, but I was thinking maybe tonight, with Cher's permission, of course, we can go and start out with maybe like a sci-fi.
Ooh, yes.
Right. All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to take the deck of stories and we're going to flip it on its head. And tonight, we are going to be doing a sci-fi. So, that being said, Cher, if
Okay.
you will do the honors, please, I'm going to start flipping through these and you're going to tell me when to stop. And now we're looking for an O. So if we get an R or a C, we'll just draw again. All right,
Okay.
so
All right.
let me
I'm ready.
know when you are ready. Here we go.
Stop.
Boom. So let's see what we got on our plate tonight.
Okay.
That's a C. We're going to put it to the side.
Ooh.
Here we go.
C for Cher. Okay.
C for Cher. Exactly. Exactly. Here we go. Here we go. Ready and
Okay. Go. Stop.
go. Ooh, okay. Nice. All right. Let's see what we got. And boom. That's an R.
Oh, got an R. Okay.
All right. Third time's the charm. Third time's the
We're
charm.
working from the back. Here we go.
Third
All
time's the
right.
charm. Here we go.
Go. Stop.
Ooh, right in the middle.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Let's see. Come on.
There's an O.
Hey, there we go. That is amazing that happened in exactly opposite order.
I know, right?
Holy crap. Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so like starting off right in the action. I don't know if it's this that's kind of blurry, maybe. There we go. Here it says a burned up cart riddled with arrows smolders on the side of the road. So we're gonna change this into sci-fi. Okay. So instead of a burned up cart, we are going to start off in space. And instead of a burned up cart, you find a broken down ship on your radar. Okay.
Ooh, okay. I'm there with you. I'm there.
Let's talk about character creation, though. This is going to be, again, it's going to be sci-fi, right? Right? It's gonna go away. It is going to be sci-fi. So let's talk about sci-fi creation. So again, this is totally improv. So there's no wrongs, no rights. We're not going off of any system. You know, it's not Starfinder. It's not there's 100 billion different sci-fi TTRPGs out there.
Sure. I mean, cyberpunk being one of the most prominent. Listen, when cyberpunk first came out, I had a character way back in the day. And we're talking back in my high school days.
Like 2020?
Oh gosh.
Well, I'm talking about the actual Cyberpunk 2020.
You were so kind. But, I had a techie character. She had a tattoo on her neck.
Oh, excellent.
She came from it was like total like Chiba City, you know what I mean? Type of
Awesome.
type of background.
Thank you very much, Arth, for the gift sub to that gamer Cher. As a matter of fact, welcome in officially. It looks like.
Thank you.
Okay,
what a warm welcome. I love it.
Let's talk sci-fi character creation. What kind of character would you like to be? Would you like to be somewhat of an aggressive character? Would you like to be a defensive character? Would you like to be a healer or a medic type character? Maybe a scientist? You know, the list goes on and on and on. So think about it.
I feel like, well, you know what? Why don't I go back to my roots as a techie?
Okay.
As a mechanic, you know, I feel like let's see. let's see if I can pull a name from the ether.
Let's see. Yeah. What do you got?
Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, actually, ooh, I might actually have. Well, I don't know if I can share reference art.
Hmm.
I always like to give credit where I can, but sometimes I'll do. What I have is like just this folder that I'll browse through the internet.
Right.
I'll search for character art, just to have at the ready, just for times like this,
It's always a great
actually.
way it's always a great way to kind of pull from, like, sometimes people will start from character art and then build the character around that art. That happens a lot.
Exactly, exactly. And I have that tendency to do that. I will end up creating an entire character just based off of an image that maybe I downloaded like 6 months ago because
Yeah.
I was in a fantasy mood or a
Mhm.
steampunk mood or something like this. And I do have, I'm looking at it, I'm looking at my folder now. Ooh.
What you got?
Ooh, okay. So I've got a feel for the look
Okay.
of my character.
Okay.
You can you're looking at uh this uh uh tawny brown skinned babe. She's got kind of this look in her eye, like, she's always figuring out angles. She's always her mind is always working.
Okay. Okay.
More than likely, she is building entire vehicles, entire constructs in the back of her mind, just as she's walking around.
Got it. Love it.
She's probably got at least no less than 5 sets of blueprints tucked in her back pocket at any given moment of the day.
Good. Okay.
More than likely, she's a little rough and tumble. She's a little bit tomboy, so she's definitely got cargo pants. You can never have too many pockets on you, right?
Of course.
Uh, and and she may have like a smudge of a little grease or oil on one or both cheeks.
Right. Right.
But
It's like a is
she's
it like a full jumpsuit where you have, like, pockets just, like, all over you and everything?
heck yeah, heck
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
She's got pockets in her pockets.
Got it.
Okay. And she's always jangling because she's always got like spare parts with her. I mean, you can never what at any moment, especially if you're on call or you get you pull up your techie app, that tech squad app that asks you to come go fix this person's vehicle and whatnot, whatever. Hey, I'm mobile. I'm ready to go. And so, yes, this is the character I already know.
Perfect,
This is
perfect. I
great.
love it, I love it. I've already got the image in my head. What name would you like for them?
I'm gonna go with Mila.
Mila. Okay.
Yes.
How do you spell that?
hmm And
M-E-L-A?
so you can
M-I-L-L?
Meela.
Love it.
So two E's.
Perfect. And then we're gonna throw that up right above you.
There we go.
All right. Awesome. So Mila, our space mechanic.
hmm
Now, with that, we can kind of get started. Mila, what kind of weapons would you have on you? Now, I would say because you are a mechanic, your ship can either be really suited for combat or it could just be suited for work, you know? It could be
Yeah.
suited for like maybe space extractions or maybe cargo supply runs, that kind of stuff. Or it could be completely, because you're a space mechanic, you've souped up your ship however you'd like. So what is your ship mostly?
Oh man, listen, where I come from, you best have at least a weapon or two on board because if I've got spare parts, I don't want them to just be taken from me. No, 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 no. You got to protect yourself. You got to have some street smarts about you. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So of course I've probably, matter of fact, all her personal weapons more than likely actually double as tools. So that
Ooh,
blowtorch
I
that she
love it.
uses
Hmm.
to go ahead and make repairs with, yeah, you best not cross her, or else you'll get it in the face. You know what I mean? Right.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
or for when it comes to her vehicle, now she's got to have a smooth ride in case she's got to get out of a situation. Sometimes you get some of these clients, it's hit and miss. It's like what they used to have to deal with back in the day called Craigslist. I mean, you show up and sometimes, you get somebody that's trying to cause static, you
Yep.
know?
Oh yeah.
They're just calling you out there to come and rob you. What can you do? I mean, it's not everybody, but it happens. So you gotta protect yourself. Now, I've gotta have a smooth ride. It can't look too classy, because then it becomes a little bit more of a target. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But it runs like a dream.
Mm.
Okay, so she's got some. She's more than likely it's probably a little otaku, as it's known as in Japanese. So you've got like side decals, and maybe anime figures, and probably in the middle of all that, she's got her number and her designation that you can send a message to call for mobile help.
Oh
Other
God,
than that,
I absolutely love it.
oh,
I've already got like literally, I've got a painting in my head of everything that's going on. Okay,
that's it.
Mila.
Oh, and it's gunmetal. It's gunmetal blue.
Ooh,
That's
gosh, I
the
love
that's
it.
the
I love
color.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a sweet ride. So Mila, you and your baby, you are riding out to a call that you had gotten for a repair. It's a space station. A lot of times you don't like taking space station jobs. It tends to be kind of crowded. People end up getting in your way half the time, and it's not necessarily the go-to place to make a lot of money. A lot of times it's government funded, and you kind of get what they give you, kind of thing. There's no kind of dealing with. There's no kind of bartering, anything like that. But times have been a little hard recently. They're not terrible, but the job was just there and you had the time. But
Yep,
you
correct. I mean, a job is a job. And listen, when these pointy ears kind of perk up and hear that there's a job, yeah, I'm not going to say no to any type of money. Let's be honest, times are hard out here. So I'll take the job wherever I find it. But it sometimes the those type of corpo types, they kind of try to watch over your shoulder too much. I mean, hey, let me do my thing. Just that's all I ask. Just let me do my thing.
So as you're on your way to the job, you are taking a wormhole, which are basically what they call the scientific version of a teleporter. And basically, what it is from one side of the galaxy, kind of allows you to travel fast, quickly to another part of the galaxy. And as you are in the wormhole, currently listening to music. What kind of music is playing on your space station, your
Oh,
radio?
she's got K-pop, especially if it's first thing, beginning of the day. K-pop's got the energy I need. You give me my coffee, you give me my K-pop. There it is. There it
So
is.
awesome. So with feet up on the dash, and you have like maybe a set of blueprints out, as you got like a pencil in your hand, kind of twirling it around, listening to
Yep.
K-pop. All of a sudden, you hear kind of coming over your radio, and you hear like a dong, 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 and you look down at your radar. And over the display, you can see a set of like square units or cube units, which signifies usually an item in space, large enough to cause damage if you were ever to fly quickly through it. But it is off the path. It is off the beaten path of your wormhole travel. Um,
Mm.
but it has a um a tag on it. You can see that there is a serial code that comes up with several different ships normally. And with this serial code, it signifies a a cargo ship. But not necessarily in cargo
Hmm.
ship in the ways of um, units or items. Cargo ships sometimes can carry individuals or anything that would be considered cargo to a space liner. Now,
Right. You know,
you
my
do get
friend,
that.
you said the magic word. You had me at cargo.
So you just get this incessant dong, dong.
Okay. Well, in looking at it, you say that it's out of my way a little bit,
Mhm.
which that's not necessarily a terrible thing. Do I get the sense that it would delay me a lot swinging by, or do I think maybe can I finish up my first job quick and then divert? Like how
So
far away?
so that's a good question. Why don't you go ahead and roll a d20? Okay, so this will be your
Ooh,
first roll of
first
the game.
roll.
Yeah. So the
Yes.
closer you are to 20, the less time this will take. If you're
Okay.
far away, you might be better. If you're like lower on the number, you might be better actually doing
Mhm.
the job first and then coming back for
Okay.
it.
All right. I'm gonna roll my beautiful, beautiful die here. Uh, let's see. Come on, baby. Ooh. Okay. 17 on the die.
Ooh, okay. So with the 17 on the
Hmm.
die, that means that, yeah, I mean, you have actually left a little early for the job because, well, if you leave a little early for these types of jobs, you might skip the crowd. You might be able to
Right.
get it in and out quicker. And heck, that means, more money in your pocket quicker. And so you kind of started
Right.
off a little bit early and you
Okay.
were expected to be there a little early. And now that you've had this, you might be able to stop by, see what it's all about and then head back to your job as you were.
I like that. You know, it's 3 clicks out. I think I can divert over there because if it's cargo that uh, goes unclaimed, so to speak, yeah, it could provide a pretty lucrative payout. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I don't mind taking the time.
Awesome, awesome. So, with the constant boom, boom,
Mhm.
you kind of reach down and type in a few codes, and suddenly the stars that were streaked across the sky as lines essentially shorten until you have come out of your hyperspace type travel.
Okay.
And you type in the coordinates from once the last seen kind of ping on your radar was, and your ship begins to divert towards the item. Now,
Okay.
as you get closer to this location, you look around you, and there are some planetoid-like areas. In the distance, you can see that this is pretty close to an actual planet itself. One of which that has a red ozone layer with kind of salmon-like colored rings set around it. It is mostly a gaseous planet, so it has a set of an asteroid belt ring kind of around the planet itself as well. Um, there are about 2 or 3 moons that line up the area, and the sun is pretty far in the distance. So it's kind of a speck. So it'd be quite cold if you were to ever set foot on the planet if you could. Now,
Mm.
you you round the moon, one of the moons to this area, revealing what looks to be a cargo ship, but this cargo ship looks to be damaged. You see what looks to be sparks flying off of a damaged hull. You see dark scorch marks along the hull. And again, the sparks
Mm.
kind of flying just kind of intermediately um, every once in a while. Uh, but there are no lights. There, all the emergency lights and everything like that that would normally be activated or blinking at this point are nowhere to be found.
Interesting. If there is and I think she would have it. if there's a chance that I might have a cloaking mode to my ship,
Hmm.
engines running silent, or any type of camouflage maybe that can form on the outside of the hull. Definitely, I would kick that in.
100%. Your active camouflage is able to set in, and I need you to go ahead and roll me a stealth check. So go ahead and roll another d20, and we'll see how
Ooh,
well this active cloak works.
ooh, okay. Let's see. Ooh, oh no. Okay, that's not that great. That's only a 3.
Okay, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay,
So I
so a
feel
three.
like she kind of like she flips the switch for the camouflage, and all of a sudden, it's like just
You
like
see, yeah, you see like the
fast.
hexagonal pattern that like is the normal, the very cliche like hexagonal pattern that goes across the ship. It continues and then it stops like halfway and then glitches out for a second and then shuts
Right,
down.
and it's like, come on, and
Yeah,
she's like banging the dash, the part of the dash where it's supposed, like, come on,
yeah.
I
You
just
see the error panel and you're just smashing the error
yep,
panel and you're like, damn
yep,
it! You got to get that fixed. You've been meaning to get that fixed for a while now. That's why you took this job to
yeah,
begin with. You need the
God.
money to pay for that.
Yeah, oh god, that's frustrating.
Well,
All right. Well,
your
eh,
cloak doesn't seem to work just well or so well, but
perhaps what I might do if I'm far off enough, I would still kind of cut the engines and drift.
okay, okay.
Just to, because once I've cut the engines off from far enough away, I don't mind still being in route en route, but just,
Right, right.
gotta cut
Of
those
course.
engines.
Well, then with that, I love that. Why don't you go ahead and roll me another d20 and I'll give you like advantage on that stuff.
Oh gosh. Okay.
This is great.
Okay.
You don't know how
Come
much I
on.
love sci-fi. So this is eating at everything I love. Let's do this.
Oh man. Oh god, that's much better. Okay, 15.
Okay, 15.
15 on the
That's not
die.
bad. That's not bad. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool.
Okay.
All right. So with 15 on the dice, we are going to say that you are able to turn off all of the outward components, all the lights and stuff like that, all but maybe one single headlight that you are able to motion and move with a joystick inside.
Mhm.
So that way, whenever you're slowly moving up to this thing, you can actually get a good view of what everything is. So you
Right.
now have, instead of, because of the distance, you weren't able to see this like physically. What was actually happening was your screen was able to capture this at a distance. Now you have gotten close enough at this point to actually visually uh, assess the situation. So,
Got you. So I was reading like they say like the FAA guys would say, I was reading through instruments only at that point, and now I
mhm,
can see it visually. I got you.
exactly.
I'm with you.
So
Mhm.
now, as you are getting close up, you have that single spotlight that you are able to kind of use to view. What are you doing around the ship?
I think right now, I'm definitely, just like any other salvage mission that I go on. I make sure I'm taking a look to see if there's anything else incoming, any floating debris, because of course, that's the other problem is if a ship breaks down like this, and I'm seeing these scorch marks, they were in the middle of a fight.
Yeah,
So whoever fired on them, I really don't want to have to deal with them if they come back to the scene of the crime. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly.
So I'm on high alert. I will more than likely program into the ship's console to alert me within a certain radius
Okay, okay.
if anything enters the area. I will make sure to prep. There's a prep room that I have on the ship when there's certain items that are brought in, especially bulky items.
Mhm.
I've got these little robots that I've put together. They're my little helpers,
Okay, yeah.
and so I'll probably call over the comms. I'll be like, "Hey, Reader, get in here. You guys gotta help me out. And you'll see like
I
two
imagine I
little like
imagine I
things.
imagine like an old school like microphone too. Like you pull it down from the top and you talk into it. It's not very high tech. It's like and it like makes the feedback noise as you talk.
Might as well be a CB radio, you
Yeah,
know what I
exactly,
mean?
exactly.
So yeah, and you'd see round coming round the corner into the cockpit, you'd see two little medium-sized droids. They float, and they've got big, cute little wide eyes, and they kind of salute like this, and they indicate they're ready to go. I'm like, okay, guys, listen. I might be salvaging some good stuff today. I really need you guys to be on point. Make sure to get everything on the ship. Quick 1, 2, 3. All right. And so
they
they'll come with me.
in robotic voice they're like, "Yes, ma'am."
All right, good, good. And she'll have them post up near the entrance
Okay.
so that when I have that salvage with me, then they can help board it onto the ship.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, I think I would have maybe probably like a it's maybe a pallet
Mm.
that I've got that floats,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that I can just toss stuff in, as I'm going around, and it can fly in space, and it'll be tethered to me
I like it.
as we make the journey over.
Okay, so you kind of turn around in your chair, have a little chat with the robots, and grab a hold of like a little handrail and flip down into the cargo bay of your ship. And as you kind of softly land on the cargo bay, you have that little pallet jack or whatever it is, and you kind of it floats on over to where you need to be. And your suit is nothing more than a button that is like you have, it's kind of like a necklace that you wear, a metal necklace. And you click a button on this necklace and it flips on over your head. And as it flips on over your head, it is all metal. It's like all red metal that's been kind of like scraped away in some areas from wear. But
Mhm.
it's as soon as it completes its journey across your head, the front goes transparent and you can see through it now. You
Yep.
you kick on your boots, and as you kick on your boots, you start to lift up off the ground from the lack of gravity, and you bonk hit the side, and the cargo bay door begins to open space.
Okay.
And
All right.
you kind of hear the silent siren is basically just kind of going off. It's just like a yellow orangish light that is spinning as your
Hmm.
cargo bay drops, and you can
Okay.
see now the scorch marks from the attack is somewhat on the side of the ship. So it looks like they were either sideswiped or maybe surprised or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I'll be hanging on to the bar that's right next to the cargo bay door, and I'll be looking out. I'll just, well, here goes. And I'll activate a button that's on my belt,
Hmm.
that is the connecting to the pallet behind me.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and just do I see like a cargo bay that's open already on that side, or is it closed, or what am I seeing
So okay,
exactly?
so this is like a medium-sized ship. Let's say if you were just in yours would be considered a small. So
Mm,
this is more like a
mhm.
medium-sized ship, so where
Okay.
several people could be involved in whatever they were doing.
Okay.
And you see that the scorch marks on the hull are you do see that you could possibly go through there if need be. There is a
Okay.
door to get in towards like the end, like the side or even more towards the cockpit area, and that looks to be damaged upon like further further looking at it. And then you do notice that it does have a cargo bay door. Go ahead and roll because it is a cargo ship. So roll me a
Okay.
d20 to see whether or not that cargo bay door is open.
Okay. Here we go. And that is an 18.
18, it sure as hell is. So yeah,
Okay.
you are able to see that the cargo bay door is open currently.
Okay. All right. So,
Share from
I'll.
from chat, someone is saying, "Is your lipstick from NYX?" I think I have a similar color.
Oh, actually, it's not from NYX. I wish it was. Thank you for for the compliment. I actually, it's a no name brand that I have, but thank you. If NYX, hey, listen, if NYX has the right shade of purple, I'm gonna check them out. Thank you for that.
Hell yeah. All right. So, Mila, you make your way out. You do see that the cargo bay doors are open. What would you like to do?
Mhm. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and push off and aim for the door. I do have, my boots have, they're grav boots.
Yeah.
So if I need to kind of aim for I'm just gonna aim for the side.
Well, let's say that
And
you do have like just a small bit of like an EVA suit. It's not like a complete like full body EVA suit, but you are able to like we'll say that like there's like a panel on your wrist that slides up into your hand whenever you reach, zero grav or something like that. And then you're
Mhm.
able to like with your thumb, almost like a video game controller, kind of control your direction with like small
Got it.
spurts of air.
Got it. One more thing I will do, I will instruct Reader and Rooter once I leave the ship I'm gonna have them reactivate the ship to hold position just out on the edge of the radius that I've programmed in to give an alert if anything enters the area.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah,
Yes.
they you see the cargo bay of your ship
Hmm.
slowly close and you just see them saluting as you have given them the order. For some reason they do have like some bit of personality as Reader leaves before Rooter does, and you see Rooter turn and like, oh, I guess we're going, and he goes up to
Hmm.
the compartment, and then you see like your little secondary engines pop on, and as your ship slowly kind of makes its way towards like kind of behind almost towards the moon, or just
Hmm.
making its way closer. um
Hmm.
Now you are on your way and close to the hangar bay,
Okay.
and the cargo bay door is open.
Okay, excellent. I will just hopefully continue that same path to it, and with the pallet in tow. And as soon as I can, grab onto the side and make sure to activate my grab boot so that at least I can get one boot, if not both, onto the side of that ship so I can be steady.
Yeah, absolutely. So you just EVA suit your way there, and pallet jack kind of towing behind you, with
Hmm.
like almost like an electronic tether, and
Hmm.
you grab onto the cargo bay door and swing inside and step foot on a piece of metal, and your boots just activate, and
Excellent.
you find footing inside.
Okay, all right. So, switching on my flashlight
Mhm.
on my suit, and just taking a look around. And what am I seeing in this area?
So you are seeing a lot of zero grav stuff, right? Because everything has been jacked up beyond all kind of like recognition. You see that that the hole in the side of the ship, which is off just a little bit at this point, from the cargo bay, it does allow a little bit of light to leak in, very very subtle moonlight to leak in to the side. So with your flashlight and that subtle moonlight, kind of has creepy vibes. But you look around and you see some pallets are kind of floating in the air, boxes, papers, maybe even some like electronics or tools. They are subtly floating through the air, in this area. Most of them, of course, completely stationary from the fact that it looks like it's been here a while. Nothing, of course, to set off them all just moving and going around like crazy.
That was going to be my next question. Seeing as though certain things, if I'm still seeing sparks means electricity somewhere.
Hmm.
So at the very least, if things are powered down right now, that says to me there's still electricity available on the ship. So I think my first priority, is to get towards the helm of the ship, And if there's lights that I can power up, if there's electricity that I can turn on to start doing some diagnostics, that's my first step. Figuring out where the problem is, aside from the gaping hole in the side of the ship, obviously,
Yeah.
obvious,
Yeah, for
of
sure.
course. But just to run diagnostics on the ship.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So you start stepping forward in the ship, kind of moving things out of your way as you get closer. Are you leaving your pallet jack here because it starts to get a little bit close, like more corridor shaped as you get closer to the cockpit?
I think at the first major junction
Okay.
that I come to, that's where I'll leave the pallet. Anywhere central in the central part of where I am, because that way I can go all over the ship and come back to that spot, dump some stuff off, go to another part, and then come back and bring some other stuff. So,
Okay. Perfect. All
mhm.
right. All right, so you get all the way up to what looks to be the cockpit. You make your way through what seems to be like a few areas where the crew may have slept. A
Okay.
lot of this has been tossed and turned, and you don't see anything like no signs of life, no humans or no people. Um,
Wow.
and
Okay.
as you kind of make your way through, you finally make your way up to the door that leads to the cockpit, and it is slightly ajar. And
Okay. All right.
behind the door, because it's all dark in here, you see just a faint red light that kind
Okay.
of behind that slightly open door.
Feels to me like that might be like the emergency beacon that I probably picked up. So that makes sense. The tools that she's decided to carry with her, the blowtorch, like I had mentioned before, she's probably got a vibro blade with her, because just in case you need to cut through
Got to cut through metal,
something, or
yeah, for sure.
yeah, just for obvious reasons. She may also have, she's more than likely got a handheld computer, if not a wrist computer, that she can just access, try to interface with the ship in the
Okay,
event that the console doesn't work, stuff like that. So that's
okay,
her basic. So she will go, oh, and of course, regular wrench, hammer,
right,
stuff
of
like
course.
this. So she will go ahead and just slowly push open the door.
Look, this is why
And
Mila has all those pockets, by the way. She could carry all this shit easy.
mhm, yeah, I mean, there's got to be like, I feel like she would create her own feat of like lots and lots of pockets. This gives you like double your carrying capacity or
For
something
sure.
like
Or,
that. So
hell, it's fucking sci-fi. She might have something that has like it opens up and it's like an extra dimensional portal that she just like reaches into and she,
right?
now she
Yes.
has everything she needs.
Oh,
She calls
I
it her
mean,
pocket of many things or something. I don't know.
in any part of the universe, in any genre, pocket of holding. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So
Excellent.
yeah, so she'll go ahead. She'll aim her flashlight in and kind of maybe using her wrench. She'll kind of tap the door open a little bit just to see what she finds.
Awesome. So you kind of take the wrench and tap the door open, and the door slowly opens. And what you are now seeing is a darkened chamber. You do see two pilots and a co-pilot's chair here in the
Mm,
cockpit. You see that the mechanics of the area look to be intact. It doesn't look to be completely destroyed or anything like that.
mm.
And then on the console, you don't see that light, but just underneath the console, you see the red light kind of Oof, oof.
Got you. All right. And if I take a look under there, I'll probably does it in fact look like the beacon light that corresponds to that signal?
Yeah, exactly. You look down and you get a good view of it, and it's a circular unit that has a few button interfaces on it, and it has a screen, but it's like a small screen. And then just in the center is that light, is that red light that is slowly humming back and forth,
Got
on and
it.
off.
I think that since I'm here now, you are here. I'll take steps to turn that off.
Okay. So
So
yeah, go ahead and we'll roll a d20 and we'll see how well we kind of start
hey,
to fix things here, repair things here.
there we go. Ooh, natural
Oh shit!
20.
All right, so
Okay.
that's awesome. Okay, so with a natural 20, we'll say that you pull this thing off and you're able to kind of pry it off. It does look like it's screwed on. So you
Okay.
unscrew the thing and you pull it down. And it is accompanied with a few wires that kind of come with it to keep it going. But you hold it in your hand and you look at it. And when you look at it, the screen kind of it begins to kind of what is it called? Begins to glow as it turns on.
Mm-hmm. All
And
right.
when it glows and turns on, the symbol on the screen is not like letters or numbers, but instead it is a happy face that blinks on and off, on and off, on and off. And
Mm.
suddenly, in your earpiece, you get the buzzing sound of your little robots. And
Oh.
they don't seem very happy. They seem like they are panicking. And
Oh
you
no.
hear some like buttons being pressed and some engines turning on in the background and everything like that. And suddenly you get the feeling that this doesn't seem like an ordinary ship.
Oh no. Okay. Rita, Ruda, what's going on? Are you guys okay? What's going on?
Ping on radar. Ships incoming. Two
Oh
ships
boy.
incoming, inbound.
Oh man. Okay. Well, all right. The hold tight. If you can find an asteroid belt to hide behind, or an asteroid, just stay out of sight. All right, and get that camouflage fixed, would ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
The comms
So
go out.
yeah. So yeah, I would still take steps to turn the beacon off
Yes, so
if
with a
I
natural 20,
can.
the beacon actually does turn off.
Okay.
You're actually able to disarm whatever it was or you turn it off,
Okay.
basically.
Do I would I recognize I feel like she's come across her fair share of viruses,
Hmm.
computer speaking, and I wonder, does that seem like a virus maybe that I'm familiar with? Or
Yeah,
matter of
fuck it.
fact,
Yeah, why not?
oh
So
gosh.
we'll say that it was some sort of virus, and that's probably what shut the ship down completely from its standing. You might have seen that, or you could probably suspect that the ship was damaged enough to turn it down. But we'll say with your natural 20 that you pulled this thing off, you were able to disarm it and everything like that. And whenever you disarm it, all the lights and all the secondary emergency powers begin to hum up on the
Great.
ship.
I was I was hoping to do that in a more controlled fashion, but it's whatever. At least I know that the ship is still running, and that means the pods are still viable too. All right. So, am what I next step? I would want to see how close incoming is that ship. So I would definitely, now that everything's powered up, I might as well. I'll use the console
Okay, perfect.
to see how far off that new ship is.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so you make your way over. You kind of like rush over to the panel. The panel is like full of like dust, and you kind of dust it off, and you look at the panel, and it's like that old retro space theme. So it has like very pixelated graphics and text and everything, kind of like what you see here. Very alien like. So you look at the console and you can see now that there are ships incoming. There are two ships incoming on the radar. Go ahead and roll me a d20. The higher it
Okay.
is, the further out they are.
Okay. Come on. Come on. Not good.
Oh no.
There are only highs and lows on this die,
Yeah. What do we
apparently.
got?
That's a 4.
That's a 4. Okay. So with that 4, you feel like they're probably going to be here within maybe a couple rounds. So you'll have a couple things to
Mm-hmm.
do right before they are able to arrive to your
Okay.
position. So what are the couple
Okay.
things you do?
Okay. Couple things. I think I would. Ooh, that's a good one. What would I do? Oh, I don't have too much time. First off, to make sure that I can like do I'm assuming that since I was able to disable certain things, was there any different language that I needed to be versed in to even read these consoles? Like, do I get the sense that this is like a regular run of the mill ship? Is there anything special that I can like find
We
out about this?
we will say because fuck it. It's an alien ship and you are versed in this alien speech because it's a common race that you were familiar with that you know have seen on this side of the galaxy.
Yeah, I thought this was Farcore language. There's
It
certain
is
things that
Farcore.
just don't translate that great. So
So this
yeah.
is Farcore technology on this ship.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, um, uh, am I able to detect what type of ship it is? That thing? That's not
Oh,
a
that's coming
Farcore
towards
ship.
you. Okay.
Uh-huh. That's not a
Interesting. Okay,
Farcore
okay.
ship, is it?
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I would say, what did you rolled a 3 for incoming or
Well, I
4
roll. I
4
rolled a
for incoming,
4.
4 for incoming.
It's Yeah.
Um we'll say that you can use one of your turns, because you have 2. We say you could use
Okay.
one of your turns to identify the ships if you would like.
Okay. I think I would like to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that I think knowing that will help me dictate what I do next.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay, good. Then go
Um
ahead. Yeah, go ahead and roll a d20. And I will say if you roll a high, if you roll a 20 or if you roll in the higher areas, we're talking
right.
maybe a race that is not necessarily known to be a shoot on sight type of people. And then the lower you roll are they're the Klingons, they're the Romulans, they're the I'm going to shoot you as soon as I see you type. All right, let's see.
Oh
What do you
dear.
got? This is a big
Oh.
one. This is a big one.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh,
No.
no.
It's okay. It's why I love improv. What do you got?
Well,
Is that a
I've
nat
got
one?
I've got a not so lucky 7.
Okay, well, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. It could have been like awful.
It could have been absolute like 1,
Yeah,
but
exactly. So
uh,
seven's
we're
not too bad. Not too bad. Not too
we're
bad.
at a 7.
Okay,
Okay.
so you look at the radar, and now that they're even closer, the ship's computers have started to register. And just like your ship, it comes up with a hex code. And of course, the hex code is recognizable by everybody in the sector. And then when you read that hex code, it comes up as the Parcathians.
Oh gosh.
A-
Okay.
And the
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, and the
oh, that's not good.
Parcathians are they're they're not like horrible, evil creatures, but they're very short tempered. They're not personable. Um, they
They're
don't.
not too fond of the Farquhar
Oh
nation
no,
either.
yeah, for sure they're not.
So great. Oh, okay. Next thing I'm gonna do. Ah, I think I will. I'll leave the ship up. I'm gonna find a place to hide on the ship, I think.
Okay, I like that. I like it. Okay, so there
So
is 2
because
compartments
I'm not
or 3.
necessarily I'm like, but it's my score. She's kind of stubborn in that respect. It's like, come on, I got here first. You know, like she's gonna dig in,
For
I
sure, for
think.
sure. Okay, so there are 3 compartments. You have the cargo bay, you have the living quarters, and you have the cockpit that you're currently in. So where would you like to attempt to hide?
Hmm. Which one? Okay, probably the cargo bay.
Okay.
The cargo bay, I feel like, because it would allow me both easy escape if I needed it,
Mm-hmm.
and also that palette, listen, it's a specialized palette that I put together. I want my stuff with me, you know what I mean? I could put together another one, tis true. But yeah, let me take the palette with me. That's gonna have enough room to do so.
Okay, perfect. All right. So you quickly, clack your boots together, and the anti-grav goes off, and you pull yourself quickly into the cargo bay containment area and click your boots back on. Now you get to the cargo bay containment area, and you do see floating boxes in the air. You see
Ooh.
maybe some I would say maybe some like locker like areas, like where they are less you know uh separated. They are like in the wall themselves, like storage compartments that you can open and like go inside if you would like to. So there are a couple areas that you could hide. Where would you like to attempt to hide at least?
Got it. I've seen playthroughs of this game. Um so
I'm trying
um
as hard as I can not to, like, it's a video game. This is totally a video game. We're in a
mhm.
video game.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, a good example. Shout out to Morgan Peter Brown, who actually played through that. If anybody in the chat understands what game we're talking about, he did a playthrough of that game, and it was like really like intense.
Oh yeah.
I think she's. It's not that she's claustrophobic, but I think she has less options to move around in a locker situation. I
Yeah.
think she'd probably hide in a vent if
Okay.
possible. So what she would do is find the vent and pry off. Maybe she's got like her crowbar in a back pocket as
Of
well.
course she does.
She'd
Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
like pry off a panel leading to a non-lethal conduit, and because those Jeffries tubes, boy, I tell you. Uh,
They'll get you.
and so she'll park herself in a vent, and she'll put the pallet in front of the. She'll use her wrist device to position it in front of the vent so that it's
Ooh.
covering her cover.
Ooh. I like it. Okay. Sneaky, sneaky. Okay. So we'll say that you are able to pry the vent off. The vent is actually quite easy to pry off with the
Mhm.
fact that you are a mechanic and you have a crowbar. And if you need to, take out any secondary screws or anything like that, you pop those off. Now you pocket the screws just in case because you don't want
Yes.
anybody to find them floating around and suspect
Oh,
maybe
that's just
someone's in the
old
vents.
habit. That's old habit.
Keep keep
It
track of
could
your
be just.
screws.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right.
She's got this little magnet holder that
Oh, I
just
love that.
choop, and they just go right on
Oh, I love
there.
that so much. That's great. Okay, so you pry open the thing, and whenever you pry it open, you slip into this ventilation chamber. You
Mhm.
grab, well, you like type in a few coordinates in your wrist, and your pallet jack starts to slide towards you, and you close the vent back behind you.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
as this happens, I'm going to
Okay.
draw another card from the deck. Yeah, we're gonna make it a little crazy. Now I know
Oh, snap.
it's around the time that we should probably start ending or finishing this up, but we're just gonna draw it out just a little bit longer so we can finish this up. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so here we go. We're gonna top down cam this thing again. All right, it didn't screw up that time. All
Hey.
right, so share. Tell me when to stop.
Ooh, chat, I need your power. Stop.
Okay, here we go. Now, I will accept an R or a C on these because these make for
Mhm.
good finishers here.
Mhm.
So here we go.
Mhm.
You are
Ooh.
delivering
Okay.
a chest. Something inside starts to move. Oh, and look, we got our puppers.
Oh. Hey.
I grew. Your nose was really cold on
Hello.
my my elbow just now.
Oh, buddy. What is their
It's
name?
Groot.
Hey, Groot.
All
Oh,
right.
baby.
So we head back.
Okay.
So interesting. You are delivering a chest. Something
Mm.
inside starts moving. So we will probably finish up the game with that. But for right now, let's finish up what we got going on. So you are there,
Mm.
and suddenly you hear the muffled sound of rocket engines outside coming to a stop. So you hear like a, and you start to see through the slits in the vent. You start to see some lights kind of shooting through the chamber randomly. Um,
Ooh,
and
I make
then
sure that my own lights are turned off.
own lights are gone for sure, for sure. They seem to follow suit by climbing through the open cargo bay doors. And you hear them enter the ship. You hear the clanging of their metal boots and the vibrations of them stepping every so often. And you see just the bottom halves of them due to your angle here. You only see like waist down, but it does seem like there are two individuals. Now, as they are going, you do see lights kind of flickering up and down and back and forth. They are going to roll to see if they can find you. Now,
Oh,
you can roll another d20, please,
oh God.
and I will roll against you.
Heal, 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 heal. Okay. Okay, come on. No!
No, Mila,
Switch,
no.
switching dice. That was another four.
Okay, so
Oh gosh.
I will say my roll wasn't much
Mm.
better. So my roll was only a 7.
Oh
So
gosh.
what that
Okay.
means for Mila, you hear the language of, what was it, the Parcathians? I think I had called them.
Parcathians.
Parcathians. There we go. So you hear the language of the Parcathians, but you are not versed in that language. So it takes a second for your earpiece to cut in and start auto translating in your ear. And suddenly you catch the end of a conversation, and the end of the conversation just says cockpit. And one of the individuals starts making his way up towards the cockpit. Now, the other one stays here in the cargo bay,
Okay.
and he starts to pace around.
Great.
Now,
I feel like I rolled so low though that like maybe the thing started to auto translate. But you know how sometimes when your ringer on your phone goes off and you swore up and down, right?
he
That you
put it on
put
by.
on vibrate. Nope. So all of a sudden,
Okay,
cockpit.
perfect.
Oh
Okay, so yeah. You don't you hear like that your earpiece has gone off, and it possibly you like immediately like cover it up with your hand and try to like shut it off on with the other. But it doesn't seem to bother the first one. They continue on to the front of the ship. Now, the second one
Okay.
that's pacing around, he paces around for a good 5 or 6 steps one way, then 5 or 6 steps the other way, and then takes 2 steps towards you and stops. And now all you can see is basically knee down because of how close he is to the vent. Now, he looks at the pallet jack and he goes, hmm. Not
Okay.
Farquhar and make.
Here's what I would do. I'm gonna do something a little stupid.
Let's do it.
I think I'm going to ram him with the pallet jack.
Ooh! Okay.
Especially if he's like, has he like taken taken a knee to look at it closely? Especially like if he
He
if
absolutely has. Fuck yeah.
yeah, if he's done that, he's about to get a pallet to the face.
I love it. Hell yes. Okay. Okay. So he kneels down, and as he kneels down to get a closer inspection, he's like running his hand along the side to kind of give it a good inspection. And he says, not Falcor and make. And then suddenly you doot, 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 some numbers into your wrist panel, and the pallet jack zooms forward, slamming into him in such a speed. These pallet jacks are known to be able to lift heavy stuff. So it lifts him completely off of his feet and rams so hard that the two forks on the pallet jack pierce through the armor of the ship that was already deteriorating and injured. So he
Ooh.
is stuck between two forks of the pallet jack, and he
Okay.
starts to yell out for help. What are you doing?
God. Okay. Yeah, I think Rita, Ruda, woman up, come swing by and get me now. Like I'm like totally like shouting into my mic.
Yeah.
Like I pull myself, I burst out of the vent and I pull myself out in zero grav. And I think I would probably do my best to angle towards the opening. If the cargo bay door is still open, I would angle myself there right away.
Okay, so
Definitely.
first off, Rita and Ruta, they answer back. They're like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. On our way. On our way." You know, just back in the earpiece, and
Mhm.
you shoot out of the vent, and you can see the alien has started to rummage for their rifle. That it looks like they've dropped their rifle. It's kind of just floating and spinning close to them, and they're reaching out to grab it as they see you, and they are
Oh gosh.
yelling at you, "She's in here! She's in here!"
Is there any way that I can reach that rifle before him?
Let's see. Roll a d20.
Oh,
I will counter roll you. Let's see.
oh, come on. Be nice. Be nice. Oh my God. I'm taking a picture of it. I'm taking a picture of it. I
You
swear to God.
didn't.
It's another natural 20.
Oh
It's
my
another nat 20.
god. Well,
Oh
I'll
my,
say your natural 20 is better than my 9.
oh my God. I'm
That
sending it to
is
you right
great.
now in the chat because I can't believe it. Oh,
Well, aren't you glad you switched dice
oh,
right
I
now?
am so happy right now.
So you
Okay.
like
Yes.
grab the sides of the ship to kind of start to launch yourself towards the hangar bay. And right before you do that, you're like halfway through your swing, you look over and that rifle is just swinging and floating in the air. And your eyes just go wide and you swoosh, swing your way over there and grab it and activate your boots so that your boots click
Yeah.
down before you slam into the person and
Oh yeah.
right in front of the
Total
pallet
total
jack.
Star Lord. Total
Yes.
Star Lord. Absolutely.
You now are in possession of a Parcathian rifle.
Okay. All right. Sorry, buddy. No hard feelings. And she'd fire on.
Hell yeah! I'll give you advantage. Roll your d20, but roll it twice. I'm gonna
Oh
roll mine
gosh.
once.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. First one is a 12.
Okay.
Ooh, second one is a nat one. So thank
Okay.
God for advantage.
Okay. So
Got a 12.
for the 12, that's okay because I'm rolling horrible tonight and I got a 6. So I haven't rolled it above a 10 yet. So it's really good. So
Oh,
with
buddy.
that, you are able to fire upon this guy who is literally he cannot move. So he tries to dodge it. You hear him yell out a curse word in his language that doesn't even translate through your auto
Go.
translator, and suddenly
Okay.
all that's left is just a splatter of green and yellow gore that kind of almost neon like kind
Oh
of
my
goes up against
God.
the wall.
Oh
Now
my.
at this point you see someone like cluttering and step down the steps of the cockpit, but just as that happens, the
Oh.
the uh the sound of your own engines start to hum in your ear. As you can see off in the distance through the scorched hole in the wall, you can see your ship incoming towards you.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. I would say, Rita, Ruta, make sure that the weapons are powered up. Uh, come, try, coordinate on my position. Be ready.
Okay, you just hear yes, ma'am, in the comms.
Okay.
You do now, as this is happening, you see a few blasts of energy kind of
Whoa!
burn through the hole next
Whoa!
to you. All right, let's roll for
Whoa!
initiative here. So go ahead and
Oh
roll
my
your
God!
d20, and we're gonna see who goes first.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
well at least it's
Okay.
not terrible. Let's see what we got.
Ooh, okay. So that is an 18.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, you beat me in initiative. So the laser blasts go by you, which immediately alerts you to his presence.
Okay.
Matter of factly, this is a Parcathian, we'll say like a Parcathian captain. So basically,
Oh,
the other one was
maybe
a
the other one had one bar,
like
but
a
the other
bandit.
one's got like,
Yeah, exactly. And this one's like decked out. And he looks
oh
at
God.
you, and instead of a rifle, he actually has two blaster pistols, and both of
Oh,
them look like old Western style six shooters, but of course energy powered.
okay.
And he is
Um,
just holding them out, and he's rushing towards you.
okay. If my earpiece or my translator allows me to speak
Vocalize.
back,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I would vocalize. I would hold them in my sights, and I would vocalize. I would say, "I don't have any trouble with you, friend, but I got here first. Allow me to leave, and no harm, no foul."
He screams out and says, "You killed Parknath! I can't let you go!"
Oh God, okay. All right, I tried the diplomatic solution.
All right.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing?
So yeah, so I think now the pallet you had said it pierced the hull, right?
It did.
Okay. Before, well, I don't know if I had a moment, but before this other one came forward, would I have had time to at least punch in coordinates to for the pallet to try and free itself?
We'll
Is there a way to
say,
know?
huh, that's interesting. Probably not, because you
Okay,
sent it immediately, you made your
then
jump,
that's
and you
fine.
went for the weapon. Yeah, there's like kind of no time between the two.
Then that's fine. Mwah. Bye bye, my baby. I'm gonna have to recreate you in a 2.0 version. I think, yeah, if this guy is threatening to kill me, I mean, I gotta clap at him too.
Okay.
So shall I roll to
Yeah,
shoot at him?
for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Oh gosh, 7.
Okay,
Only a
that doesn't beat his
7.
9. So
Mhm.
he's in the compartment where they would sleep, and he ducks and rolls and dives into one of the side beds that are there, and the laser
Okay.
blasts go and smash into the console of the cockpit. So your blast
Oh
burns a
gosh.
hole straight through the cockpit. You see sparks and everything like flying through.
Crap.
And he was able to dodge and roll into that compartment. Now, you immediately after that see two hands come out and start blasting out of
Oh
that
gosh.
compartment.
Okay. Ooh,
Now,
okay.
that's a 15 to hit, but you can roll to dodge it now.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll your d20 to try and dodge.
Ooh. Nope.
Okay.
Time to change dice again. That's a 7 again.
All right. So, as we
No,
had as we've
no.
done in the past, I need you to roll a d20 and add 8, and that's going to be your HP.
Ouch. Okay, okay. That's 17 plus 8
Yep.
would be 25.
Okay, you are awesome. So, at that point, the blasts
All
come
right.
by and do 7 points of damage. So, you're down to 18.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Oh, that's smart. Right. Yeah. I'm cutting and running. I'm
Okay.
running. If there's a way for me to activate my boots,
Mhm.
my little jet thrusters on my boots
Yep.
to shoot me out. I mean, I'll go through the side of the hull if that's
Oh,
faster.
for sure, faster.
So I'll say, Rita, Ruta, lay down cover fire. Mama's coming, and I'll go and I'll shoot out of the hole in the hull of the ship
Okay.
and launch myself towards my cargo bay
Hell yeah.
on the other side.
So the ship is coming directly at the side of the ship. So you see the front of your ship, but you yell out the maneuver, and suddenly the ship does a 180 while coming at you, allowing you to see the cargo bay start to slide downwards. And as the cargo bay slides downwards, above your ship, on the top of your ship, you see Ruta whoop, pop out of the top of your ship, and on the side of Ruta, two laser guns shook, shoot up next to him. And now Ruta is in control of the laser guns, and you just hear as you can see blasts start hitting the side of the ship. And I'm going to roll to dodge this, but oh my God, that's a 3. So suddenly, as the blasts go off, it hits directly into the compartment where the creature was. Now, you unfortunately are not able to see what happened, but you see a gaping hole in the center of the ship, and you see it's split it in half, and it is kind of like drifting now apart. The cargo compartment from the captain's seat and I can't think of the word. What's the cockpit? Oh my God, I couldn't think of that word. So yeah, the cargo place and the cockpit, they are now split apart and slowly moving apart. And as you are drifting towards the ship, the cargo bay of your ship opens up and you shoot inside.
Yes, and as I would like to say, if there's a chance for her to still make out of this, with something, right?
Yeah.
If cargo is now spiraling all over the place, she'd probably want to grab at least one box of something that she's floating past.
Yeah, 100%.
As she's making it towards the ship. Shall I roll for that?
No. We'll say that as you are like flying towards your ship, one of the boxes that were in the cargo ship got knocked loose whenever you shot your lift like towards the wall. It like bumped into it and it started to spin out of control out of the ship. You throwing yourself out of the ship, you can see it out of the corner of your eye, and you just make a slight correction with your EV suit and grab it out of mid space and make your way towards your ship. And you do the whole like make it towards your ship and like land on your back and kind of start to like whirl as you kind of barrel roll into your own ship. And that
classical music montage occurs to me.
All this crazy shit happening, classical music.
Rolling slowly.
Oh, for sure. You land in your ship, and Ruder has come down from his perch and lands kind of next to you as it seems like he floated up there, but then he just falls down and just lands on the metal next to you. And he kind of just leans down towards you as your mask goes completely opaque red and then slips back over your head now. And he looks down at you and he says, "You okay?"
Yeah, I'll be better once we get out of here. Good boys. Let's go. Let's go to Omicron 57. Punch it. Go.
Reader is kind of looking back at you. Omicron 57 set in, and then and you can see the stars kind of slowly lengthen themselves, and then the ship just hits it, punches it. And as it does, Ruder is kind of looking over, and now because like the box has been separated from you just a little bit because of like the twirling and falling, Ruder is looking over at it now and poking at it. And as Ruder pokes at it, the box shifts and moves, and you can hear inside.
Oh boy. Okay.
And that is where we will end today's session.
And we leave it to you to surmise what might be in that box.
That is so cool. Well, on that note, that all happened due to the wonderful people at 1985 Games, guys. This is called the Deck of Stories. Okay, we used only 2 cards today, and I'll say we've really only used one. We used one for like a split second, but we really only used one, and we were here for nearly an hour and a half.
Well, here's a quick epilogue, if I may.
Go for it. Yeah, epilogue.
Can I roll? Let's leave it to the dice.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The dice are the real. The dice are the real storyteller.
Yes, that's true.
If I roll, I would love for a high roll to mean that it's the cutest and fruffiest, alien puppy that is
Yes.
now my forever companion among the stars.
Okay, okay.
And if it's a low roll, I feel like it would be tune in next week for the new problem that Mila now has to deal with. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's see it.
shall
Let's
we
see.
try?
What do the dice have to say about this situation? This is a big one. I like this one. I like it a
A
lot. A
16. That's
16. A
not
16.
okay.
So
Mhm.
we'll say coming out of the box, you see a single slender, almost like strange, it almost looks like spider-like in appearance. It looks horrifying. Horrifying, like a little spider leg coming out. But then it pops open and it looks to be the ear of a creature as it pops its head up and from under the box. And when it looks up at you, it has the darkest black eyes that take up like 90% of its face. It has
Wow.
no nose, but it has one little we'll say horizontal slit where the nose is. And then it's just got like one big buck tooth that comes down to like a point, like an unsharpened point, and it
Oh.
just looks up at you and it just gives you the nicest
I feel like Mila would like kind of like wiggle one of her elf ears at it to see if it responds to that.
Yeah, it goes in suit and does the same, like, it just does, like, a copycat kinda scenario.
Right. So like the head turn when you turn your head and then
Exactly.
turn the other way like,
Exactly.
"Mm, I think I'm gonna name you Gadget. Dun dun dun.
There you go. Roll credits. Roll credits. I love it. I love it. Okay,
So
so
much fun, Dan. Thank
yeah, of
you. That's
course, absolutely.
amazing.
So, to end
And
things
thank you,
off
1985 games.
right, right, exactly. So, here we go. This is O. This is what we used up today. Now, I wanna
Mhm.
say, for instance, this all comes from our imagination because you can use the deck of stories to roll with whatever you want. And I say that because we ran a sci-fi adventure today. This is not just for D&D. This is for anything you want to run. You can turn whatever these things say into something similar. So it says a burned up cart riddled with arrows smolders on the side of the road, and I turned that basically into a ship that had been attacked, that was smoldering with either smoke or electricity or something like that, that is lost
I can't believe
on
it.
the side of the
Yeah.
road, which was basically the side of hyperspace, essentially,
Right.
right? And so we ran off of
Worked out
that. We ran off
perfect.
of that. And like just like that, we have a campaign.
And then the last card, we used that technically too. That's
Yeah.
why that's where I was going with the box
I mean, you killed it with being
because
able to actually like by being able to grab something before you were able to, leave and everything. So that's perfect.
that's it.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I
That
won't
was great.
I won't keep like going into it, but I think that was super duper duper fun. I had so much
Yes.
fun. I'm a big sci-fi nerd and I know I don't get to play sci-fi very often, so it was very cool that you were able to do that. Cher, thank you so much for being able to kind of riff with me. You are very knowledgeable in it all and you kind of like were able to like really kind of play along with it and go and give me everything that I was giving to you. So it was a very nice back and forth, and I
Oh,
really, truly enjoyed it. Thank you so
I
much for
really
joining me.
enjoyed it too, Dan. You're welcome, and thank you for having me. And thank you,
Absolutely.
chat.
Yes, thank you, chat, for guys for joining us and everything like that. Cher, if you wouldn't mind kind of giving us a quick spiel, where can they find you online so that they can find more stuff like this?
Yes, of course. Of course, my name here on Twitch, that gamer share. I have my own variety channel. I am a Black content creator here on Twitch, as well as on YouTube. I am most often found on other channels, participating as a D&D player. Most recently, over at Nerdlandia, with our awesome DM Cat in our campaign called Evan Rune, and also the Ladies of D&D. I am one of the co-founders for Ladies of D&D. Check out their channel as well, Ladies of D&D. And we run charity streams. We have ongoing campaigns. We came out of back in December, with just a great like variety of indie games from independent creators. We make sure to invite folks who identify as female and non-binary and transgender into our community, because there's been a history of some gatekeeping, and we say fuck that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so come on by and also stop by my channel. My channel will be picking up steam shortly. I have a homebrew D&D campaign that I'm working on right now, so I hope to be releasing that soon.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy that people can kind of keep up with you like on the ground level, the ground floor of things as they start to pick up. So I'm super happy to have you here, Cher. I mean, honestly, thank you so much for being able to be here last minute. I know it's last minute. Happy Valentine's Day, Cher. Happy Valentine's Day to
Yes,
everybody
happy
watching.
Valentine's Day.
So yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Check her out. And thank you one last time to 1985 Games. Guys, if you would like, I'm gonna type it in. Oh, I don't need to type it in chat. Well, I'll do it anyways, because why not? We're gonna go 1985 Games in chat. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna be able to give you a link to 1985 Games. If
There
you're
we go.
watching this later, you might not be able to see chat. So it is 1985games.com/p/nat1fun. And that'll lead you straight to 1985 Games. But what it'll do is if you end up purchasing anything from 1985 Games, it comes back and helps support Not One Fun as a channel and also myself. So on top of that, if you would like to support us, you can also save yourself 10% off by, if you end up purchasing from them, going to checkout and typing in the words Not One Fun. And that'll be your coupon code to save 10% off whatever you end up purchasing from them. Yeah,
Nice.
so and the deck of stories is just one of many things that they sell that are really cool DM inspirational tools that you guys can use. Guys, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We are going to raid tonight, and I have a lovely person we're going to raid. We are going to raid Persephoroth. If you don't know who
Yes.
Persephoroth is, you will get to know. And she is currently playing. Oh, she's playing Pokemon, the new Pokemon game.
Nice.
So if you are a
Okay.
fan of Pokemon, you'll love what she's got going on. She's a little bit raunchy. She's a little bit fun to talk to and stuff like that. So if you're into that, stick
Oh, she's
around.
already my kind of gal. Let's go. Rate,
She's
rate,
amazing.
rate, rate,
So
rate.
check her out as we raid them. So very much, again, thank you everybody for joining me in chat. We will see you next time. Wednesdays, join us for Running Fey Wild. Saturdays, join us for Rime of the Frost Maiden. And that's pretty much all I got. So thank you all again. Thank you, Cher, one last time. Keep being your best selves, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.